Sit down, smoke a bowl. It's time for the Fire Safety Meeting, Movie Edition. And now, your hosts, Travis and Jesse.
This week's fire safety meeting brings us together so a bowl can be roasted and a movie can be discussed. This week's movie is 2016's Captain America: Civil War. Travis, tell us a little bit about this movie.
Well, before I do, I'd like to give a shout out to Jake Weiler for giving us the opportunity to watch this movie before the nationwide release.
Thanks, Jake.
This movie was rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 26 minutes, making it the longest Marvel movie to date. Reprising their roles, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, Don Cheadle, Jeremy Renner, Paul Rudd, Elizabeth Olsen, and joining the team this time around, Chadwick Boseman playing Black Panther, and Tom Holland playing Spider-Man.
So this is the next installment of the Marvel movie universe, where Captain America and Iron Man find themselves on opposite sides of the law, due to collateral damage and loss of innocent life. A law is passed where the superheroes must register and work for the United Nations.
I was looking forward to this movie. I mean, the build-up of all the years, showing us the backstories of all the other Avengers and his role playing in the Avengers.
Right, and I was following the comics when it was out. When they were doing this storyline, I was really into comics.
I don't think they disappointed at all. I think they raised the bar, in fact. It's going to make it harder for John Watts, which is going to be directing Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right.
I mean, Anthony and Joe Russo, they kind of came out of nowhere and taken these movies. They're owning them.
Yeah. How many Marvel movies have they done so far?
This is their second Marvel movie they've done, but from what I've read, they're signed up for the Avengers Infinity Wars.
Right. So I like the conflict between Iron Man and Captain America.
It was like a brotherly disagreement at the beginning, and it just kind of kept building and building, right. And they just started bringing in other heroes, which I liked.
Well, I think the big difference was Cap is a soldier. Loss of life is expected when you're doing something like this. Where Captain America he's always had the shell around him where he didn't have to worry about the repercussions. He had the guilt bubbling inside of him, and Chris Evans just kind of shakes it off because to save the world, some people die.
To make it normal, you got to break some eggs.
Absolutely. Scarlett Johansson was even more badass than ever. She really has taken hold of this role.
I haven't been disappointed with her at all, not one bit in this movie. Or Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's really holding her own, coming into a movie that has so many big stars in it.
She does that weird thing with her fingers. I don't know how she does that, dude. They get all like freaky.
There's a scene in this movie that you could see it in the trailer. Captain America is holding a helicopter in one hand and holding on to a helipad in the other. Mm-hmm. And he just got so buff for this role, all the Captain America roles. Mm-hmm. But it was just so badass, him showing how strong he is. Yeah. And he can just hold on to it.
The equivalent of how strong he is, absolutely. Well, they showed that when they were running down the freeway at superhuman speeds. They showed that in the trailer. When they were running at superhuman speeds, that was something else. I know it's a little cheesy, but I wanted Sam Wilson, Falcon, to have his Falcon from the comic books. Like to have an actual Falcon.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know
he had an actual Falcon. Yeah, absolutely.
But, I mean, his little droid kind of took its place.
Right? Yeah, well, I mean, it all works in the story.
I was a little disappointed that there was no Hulk or Daredevil in the movie. Wow. And you were saying there was other superheroes in this storyline.
Yeah, there's a lot more superheroes in the storyline. Villains, Tony Stark and the registration side, they all employ villains like Bullseye and Venom. And they contract them to catch the good guys for lessened, shortened sentence. So, there's a lot of other things, but you can only put so much.
Yeah, I mean, you start putting more people in there, you got to start filling more backstory, and then it just gets confusing.
The movie was already like, how much money did it pay? How much did they pay to make this thing?
Well, they've been building all these years, just building up, and it just, boom! I mean, they just keep raising the bar. I hear Charlie Cox, which plays Daredevil on Netflix.
Yeah, he's fantastic on this show.
He has in his contract that he can appear in a Marvel movie.
I was
kind of hoping that this was going to be the movie. But maybe
It's kind of
the
the
next
last one. It's kind of the last one. What's he gonna do against the cosmic beings? He can't do nothing. He can't do anything against Thanos. I guess he can fight some minions. Paul Rudd. I was glad to see him in the movie.
He is just so damn funny, that character, and he's just so happy to be there. It's
Right.
like, oh shit, Captain America, what's going on? Well, Tom Holland really took it. Tom Holland really took it away with Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
I mean, fit the comic, the cartoon, what you think of Spider-Man
Yeah.
to the T on
Well,
this
this is the
one.
youngest they've ever gone with him.
Yeah,
So.
he's actually a teenager for once.
Yeah, so that's that's good. He has the body type for it. This is just super lanky, skinny kid, and I like that this time he had made the web fluid. He actually had cartridges.
What he
of the
did
web.
in the Andrew Garfield one, he did too.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Tobey Maguire's the only one that he was born with it, because no one could really believe Tobey Maguire would be able to make something like that.
Absolutely.
I did like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, but I think this kid, I got high hopes for him, especially in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah,
And
that's
Marissa
gonna be a lot of
Tomei
fun.
is Aunt May. That's the hottest aunt ever.
Dude, are we in a time warp? She
I
keeps
know.
getting younger
Yeah, I
and younger.
know.
She started with I don't even remember her name from the original with Tobey Maguire. And then we get Sally Field in the one with Andrew Garfield. And now it's Marissa Tomei. I mean, seriously.
Even Tony Stark is making
He
jokes in
was
the
macking
movie.
on her the whole time.
Yeah.
It was great.
She looks great as always, and I hope to see a little bit more from her in the movie. I mean, she kind of had a real small part in this.
Right. Hopefully this time she'll know that he's Peter Parker. Like, change it up. Because she's always, who do you think does his
Yeah.
laundry?
Yeah,
It's
she doesn't
her.
come across
Yeah,
it.
seriously. He's not home. She knows. So Chadwick Boseman was my favorite part of the movie as Black Panther. He could have been cooler because he is cooler.
I thought this movie was done very nice. It was smooth, and it kept coming with the comedy, the action. I mean, you gotta love the banner between everyone.
Right.
They're all like, "We're the strongest people in the world."
Well,
Oh,
and
you,
you,
kick our
you
asses.
also have to save the backstory for the Black Panther movie. Can't be giving that away too soon.
Have they released a date on
Oh,
that?
dude, they're making it. It's happening.
It's gotta
You don't
be-
get a guy like Chadwick Boseman to.
Well, you think we would have got a Hulk movie by now with Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah, but they have that. They have it all sectioned out perfectly.
Yeah.
This is gonna make us this amount of money this year and this amount of money. And then they have surprise hits like Guardians of the Galaxy, which was fantastic.
So how do you feel about these directors doing the next two movies?
Well, I think if they keep going in this direction, it could be good. As long as you imagine there's going to be some kind of drop off in these actors. Not everyone's going to stay. Eventually, someone's going to go, and it's going to happen real soon here. And I don't know what they're going to do to refill the spot, but there's always an endless line of superheroes to choose from. I mean, really, Hugh Jackman could play Wolverine until he's like 70, and that's Wolverine, bro. Wolverine looks like a 60-year-old man, but with like the body of like a young man. You know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
like Hugh Jackman. He could be old and be Wolverine. That's Wolverine.
Well, I hear he's only getting one more movie.
I know, but
And
he
then
could do it
they're gonna
forever, the rest of his
recast.
life.
They're going to recast. So anyone that's listening to us, who do you think should be the next Wolverine? If you have anyone in mind, why don't you tweet it out to us or hit us on our Facebook or email to us. You can find us on our website. Jesse, what would you give this movie?
I give this movie 4 out of 5 joints. It was enjoyable. It was all the superhero fun and action I needed until the next one, which should be soon. When is the next one?
2018 for the next Avengers movie.
So
Infinity War.
it's going to be a long wait for this next Avengers movie. So hopefully, I know they're going to fill the gaps with some other stuff. Some
Well, Spider-Man's
backstory.
next year.
Oh, Spider-Man. I'm excited for that one.
Yes, me too. I also give this movie a solid 4 out of 5 joints. I enjoyed this movie. I would watch it multiple times. I want to go binge watch all of them now.
Right.
Because it was just, it's a payoff. It was building blocks to this and Infinity War. So I am definitely looking forward to the next ones.
I'm definitely going to watch this again in theaters.
We'll be right back. We're going to roast one real quick while you listen to a commercial. And when we return, we'll talk about the director and actor's previous bodies of work.
And that was another smash hit from America's Top 40. Now I'll take you to March 18th, 1988, where this song spent 4 weeks at number 1. Number 1? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's the list that was sent over this morning. You want to try that again?
And that was another smash hit from America's Top 40. Now I'll take you to March 18th, 1988, where this song spent 4 weeks at number 1. It's Bruised Apples by the Crabgrass. Who's writing this list? It's bad enough this equipment's older than I am. And where did they get this chair from? Did they find it at a little house on the prairie yard sale? I've got more splinters in my ass than Pinocchio.
We only have 4 songs to go. Are you ready for another take?
Fuck you, Jerry. Fuck you.
Hey, you want to hit this?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, you ready now?
And that's like another smash hit from America's Top 40. Now I'll take you to March 18th, 1988, where this song spent 4 weeks at number 1. It's Bruised Apples by the Crabgrass.
Welcome back from the break. That commercial was sponsored by Pineapple Express. This is the part of the show where we talk about the directors and the actors and their previous bodies of work. Travis, why don't you tell me a little bit about these directors?
Well, this movie was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, a brother directing team. They haven't done many movies previous to getting involved with Marvel, mostly TV shows. There was Arrested Development. 2002, they did Welcome to Cullenwood.
Okay.
I'm not very familiar with. Trailer looks good. But they're more well known for 2006, You, Me, and Dupree with Kate Hudson, Owen Wilson, and Matt Dillon.
Nice.
It was a movie about Kate Hudson and Matt Dillon getting married and Owen Wilson being the best man and continuing to be the best man by moving in with them.
Right.
Makes their lives hell. Funny, sit down with the wife, girlfriend kind of movie. We're going to move on to Chris Evans, but before we do, we'd like to give you a heads up about Anthony and Joe Russo doing the Avengers Infinity Wars Part 1 and Part 2 in 2018 and 2019.
Hopefully they can keep it going.
Yeah, I wish them the best of luck. Look forward to what they produce. So, Chris Evans, huh?
Right. All right. So Cap's going to start since he's the star of the movie. And I'm going to go with 2007's Sunshine, about an emergency rocket sent to the sun after it's gone out to shoot a nuke into it to restart it so that the Earth will stop being cold. Fantastic movie.
Sounds very problematic.
Stars Michelle Yeoh. It's got Cillian Murphy. It's got Rose Byrne. Fantastic flick. Give it a watch.
He did Puncture in 2011 with Vanessa Shaw. He's a lawyer that is suing a hospital because a woman got poked by a needle and got AIDS. All because the doctor's office wanted to save 3 cents on not buying puncture-safe needles.
Okay.
Chris Evans is the lawyer. He kills the role. It's a good dramatic movie. Really shows his acting skills.
I have 2013 Snowpiercer, where he plays Curtis, a passenger on a train after the world has frozen over, and their goal from getting from the back of the train to the front of the train by any means necessary.
And if the train stops, they could freeze to death. Isn't that
Absolutely
what keeps them
That's
under
what.
control?
The train can never stop moving. All right, so up next we have Robert Downey Jr. plays Iron Man. I chose both Sherlock Holmes movies. They're fantastic flicks. If you haven't watched them, give them a try.
I hear they're in talks of doing a third Sherlock
I
Holmes.
hope they are. He was really good.
I mean, he's really busy with all this Marvel, but Charlie Bartlett back in 2007 is another movie of his I like,
I have seen that.
with Anton Yelchin, Hope Davis, and Kat Denning. Anton Yelchin plays a teenage kid that doesn't know really where he fits in, but he has grand delusions of being the most popular person ever.
And he pulls it off by selling pharmaceutical drugs to all the students, diagnosing their problems through psychiatry and medicine, even though he is no expert at it whatsoever.
Robert Downey Jr. plays the principal, but also plays the father of Kat Denning, which is Anton's love interest.
That's right.
Another one of Robert Downey Jr.'s movies that I really like is 2005 Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Michelle.
Moynihan.
Thank you. I can never remember that one either. And also Val Kilmer. Robert Downey Jr. plays a small-time criminal that gets kind of roped into being in a movie. So Val Kilmer is a private eye that is going to take him out and teach him how to be a detective for this detective movie. Well, he also runs into Michelle, that is a childhood friend, and little antics happen. Great movie, one of my favorites. It's funny
Right.
and yet entertaining. So who else we got tonight?
Scarlett.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson. I have 2014's Lucy with Morgan Freeman.
That was a good movie.
I wouldn't say it was a good movie. It was definitely an entertaining movie.
Hey,
a
it
little
was-
ridiculous.
It was like an extreme version of Limitless.
Yes. Scarlett Johansson plays a girl that is dosed with a drug that allows you to use 100% of your brain,
Mm-hmm.
and it just goes off the chart. Morgan Freeman is a writer that has a theory about being able to use 100% of your brain. So that's the connection between those two, and she wants to take revenge on the people that did this to her. Pretty good action movie. What else you got?
I have 2005's The Island, starring Ewan McGregor. She plays Jordan 2 Delta. Both of them are clones on this island used as a organ factory for the rich people who own these clones. So if anything was to ever happen to them, or if they needed a new heart, blood, they could draw it from these clones. They would be none the wiser because they're being raised on the island, unaware of everything else. It's a very good movie. We also have 2006 The Prestige, starring Hugh Jackman and
Christian Bale.
that's right.
It also has Michael Caine in it.
Right, oh yeah. And she plays the assistant and girlfriend to both of them at one point in the movie. She's very good in it.
Awesome performance. I've never been disappointed with her.
Paul Rudd.
Oh, Paul Rudd. Ant-Man.
Yeah, that was
Oh, he stole the movie.
it was good. It was good. 2005's 40-Year-Old Virgin. He didn't have a big part, but he played David, as co-worker of the 40-Year-Old Virgin. It was very hilarious.
Seth Rogen.
Absolutely.
The title pretty much explains the movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been.
Yeah, you should have watched it already. We're not going to talk about it. Figure it out. And then also, same thing goes with this movie. Anchorman, 2004, Legend of Ron Burgundy. That was hilarious from the beginning to the end. It's probably the funniest movie I've ever seen.
I did not like Anchorman.
I laughed from
What
the
about
beginning.
number 2? Did you like number 2?
I thought number 2 was terrible. It was a piece of dog shit.
I have 2008's Role Models with Sean William Scott and Elizabeth Banks.
Right. He plays an office worker?
Well, they both get wrapped into doing role models for community service.
Yeah, because they
They fucked up.
With their bull mounted the mascot,
Yeah.
their bull car. That was not good at all.
It was a good movie, a little corny, a little cheesy. The Whispering Eye. Remember that? Tell her you miss her
that's
whispering
right.
eye.
I forgot that was the one about the LARPing, the live
Yes.
action role playing. If you're not aware of what that means, where they dress up as fantasy characters, live in a fantasy land, and camp out at this park for over a day and pretend to be these characters. I thought that was a great part of the movie. That made the movie for me.
It was. It
Because
was
without
a funny
that, it
movie.
wouldn't have been funny. It's got McLovin in it.
McLovin, yes.
McLovin, this is like his last kid role before he started doing all the grown-up shit.
Well, I like Sean William Scott.
Yeah,
I
oh,
want
absolutely.
to see more action comedy movies from him.
Right?
But
Like in the vein of The Rundown.
yes, The Rundown was great.
That's-
Bulletproof Monk.
Dude, Ernie Reyes Jr. was in that, bro. Keno himself.
Yeah. The Rundown, yes, with Christopher Walken, The Rock. So next up we got Don Cheadle. Recently, and continuing to go on Showtime, he's got the show House of Lies.
It's a good series.
Started in 2012. Kristen Bell in it too. We just talked about her on a previous episode. Huntsman.
Finding Sarah Marshall.
Yes.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yes.
And I have 2004's Hotel Rwanda. It takes place in Africa during apartheid, where he protects some citizens from, being murdered by sheltering them in the Hotel Rwanda.
And then we got 2001 Manic, where he plays a counselor.
He plays a counselor to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's ultra angry character.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt is put into, what is it, insane asylum?
It'd be a mental asylum.
A mental asylum. And he has to work through his issues. A good movie. It's not an action movie. It's a drama. It's a little slow, but it's good performances.
It's extremely slow. It's a good movie, though.
And then we got Anthony Mackie. He recently did The Night Before, the Christmas movie, 2015.
I thought that was funny. That was really funny.
It's with Seth Rogen and Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt. It was a movie about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's parents died right before Christmas, so they started a routine of all three of them going out and partying on Christmas Eve,
Right.
celebrating it together, and this was the last year they were going to do it. So, balls to the wall, Seth Rogen's about to become a dad. His wife gives him a bunch of drugs and says, have fun. Anthony Mackie is pro ball player, moving on. He's leaving his old friends behind, and it's just the last bang. Funny movie. It has its part where it gets a little sappy, but hilarious. We also have 2013 Pain and Gain with Marky Mark and The Rock.
Right. I like that movie.
Based on a true story, and those guys were so dumb.
Oh, yeah. That was. I really didn't think they were going to be that dumb.
I remember hearing a little bit about it when it happened, but I don't know if they embellished it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good seeing Marky Mark and The Rock, so they're entertaining to me. I wouldn't say that they do great performances, but they are entertaining.
Absolutely. Marky Mark is always funny. I have 2002's 8 Mile, where he plays Papa Doc.
Papa Doc.
Yeah, so he's the
Fuck Papa Doc.
exactly. If you haven't seen 8 Mile, watch it. Eminem.
It's
His
a
best
loosely
role.
based story on Eminem's life.
Right.
Also had Brittany Murphy in it and Kim Basinger, Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great cast. Eminem does a good performance.
Absolutely. Up next, we have Elizabeth Olsen, 2013. I'm choosing it again because it's a good movie. 2013's Old Boy.
It's a remake. There's also 2014 Godzilla with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson
From Kick-Ass.
from Kick-Ass. It all comes back around. They're all connected from this movie.
Right.
Now, I hear she was offered the role of Michelle in Fuller House, but she turned it down.
Yeah, she's a little bit too big for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
She's
come
big
and
time.
gone.
Nah, she's big time
Hell
now.
yeah. She's really making it. I look forward to see her in other movies, especially with the Marvel Universe. And we also have Tom Holland. This is only his second movie, really.
Okay.
Big movie. 2015, In the Heart of the Sea with Chris Hemsworth, the story that Moby Dick was based on.
Okay.
Good movie, very long. 2.5 hour movie, but I would recommend watching it.
So who do you think is going to be the next villain in Homecoming?
Michael Keaton just turned it down, The Vulture,
Okay.
so
That could be an interesting one to start with.
we'll see.
And we're going to finish it off with Chadwick Boseman. I chose 2014's biopic about James Brown. He plays the James Brown. And if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Well, in 2013, the movie 42, he also plays Jackie Robinson, which was a good representation of Jackie Robinson
Right.
and the story of Jackie Robinson.
Right, absolutely.
I really enjoyed the movie and would recommend it to anyone else.
My boy Harrison's in it.
Yep, so those last three actors, they're kind of new, but they're rising fast, so keep an eye out for them.
We definitely recommend this movie. Watch Captain America Civil War in theaters this Friday.
Well, that's going to bring our show to an end tonight. We rushed through it this time. Sorry, there's a lot of actors to get through. We didn't want you to just hear rattle names off for 40 minutes. So tune into us next time.
Thank you very much for listening, folks. Make sure you check us out on our Twitter page, Stick and Swoop at Fire Safety Meet. We also have a YouTube channel. You can check that out at Stick and Swoop. That is the channel name. We also have a Facebook page, The Fire Safety Meeting. All of them will take you to our website, firesafetymeeting.wix.com/podcast. You guys have a weed night.
Thank you for listening. Go ahead and give us some of your thoughts and opinions and email back to us. Until next time,
Meeting adjourned.